Hey, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great week. I really can't complain because the energy has been pretty good this week. So, you know, no complaints over here, and complaining doesn't do anything anyway. So, that part. Oh, my goodness. All right. So, we're going to get into list building today. Really important topic that I love to talk about. But this is list building to call in your clients. So, I'm going to be going over just some tips for you just to have a faster path to really building your email list because as most of us know, the email list really helps us sustain our business and creates longevity in our business. um, and it just makes sense for every business to have an email list, but more importantly, a lucrative email list, right? A responsive email list. And so for me, I have grown my email list to over 14K in the past 8 years. And I mostly done that with summits. And I talk about summits all the time. If you follow me, you know that summits and live events have been my way to create an email list and continuously create the email list. And that's the thing. You don't just want to build and stop. You want to continuously build your email list. So a little bit of coaching today. And we can just really jump right on in. Really jump right on in. So the first thing I do want to talk about is hosting live events. And hosting live events, it's really a great way for people to get more of you from a more intimate standpoint, versus just posting content or just giving them something to read. If you host a live event, it creates more interaction, more engagement. And just giving more of yourself, right? People get to just see how you are, who you are. And so I would suggest doing this at least twice a month. Okay. So, this is for coaches. If you want to get to your next 10K, your next 20K, 50K, whatever that looks like, so that you can finish the year strong. We're going to go over some of those things today. And hosting live events is something you need to dive into if you're not currently doing that. If you're currently doing it, great, keep doing them. They are effective. And I want to say this, pat yourself on the back, because if you're doing live events and you're not getting the results that you want from them, but you're continuously doing them, then yes, you get a hand clap from me, and a cheerleading hand clap for me, because some people, they do these events, they do live events, and they don't want to continue because they feel like it's not working, or it's just not getting them results, no return on investment of time, right? But it's absolutely working. And to build a brand, it takes a while. It takes time to build your brand. And when you're doing live events, you are building your brand because it's about positioning. It's about people seeing that you're a credible expert. So if you continue to do that, trust and believe that over time you will gain traction and things will happen. Okay. Things will happen. And so hosting live events at least twice a month, or ideally once a week, if you want to be booked, I would suggest doing it like that. Okay. If you can, hosting a live event, it has to be a summit. It doesn't have to be a summit. Um, it could be a webinar, it could be just some videos if you wanted to do that. Live streams, webinar videos of live streams, creating pre-recording, creating, just new live content every single week. You can do that. You can absolutely record your content and just present it as a broadcast to go live. You can use certain you can do that on certain platforms. So hosting a live event is just a great way, right, to really speed things up, because you're, like I said, you're in front of people and you're giving them more of yourself. Okay. And do this until you're booked. Okay. So the thing about webinars and summits and that type of thing, it really gives people the space to learn about you, learn about your offer, learn about what you do for your clients. And it just really creates that type of environment so that you can build community, right? You can build your database and ultimately your list of buyers. Okay. So it's a faster way to do it. It's a faster way to do it. So if you're not doing it, try to jump in. Try to jump in now because, like I said, we're trying to finish the year strong. We want to jump in now and start doing these things and doing them consistently. Okay. So that we do gain the traction. All right. Now, I'm not a big person on lead magnets, but if you're doing a live stream, if you're doing a webinar, it is a form of a lead magnet. Okay. Now, other lead magnets. All right. You can create other lead magnets a couple times a month, once a month, however you want to do it. And it could be like a free PDF, a free e-guide, a worksheet, but make sure you are doing your research first to understand what the current need of the market is so that you can provide that solution and they can get an immediate result, right? So that people can get a result right now from whatever it is that you're giving them. Okay. It's critical. It's critical. It's the most effective way to get people to actually not just opt in, but stay with you on the journey, right? As you continue to communicate with them once they're in your funnel. All right. So, don't just throw something out there just as bait. You really want them to get a result so they can ride with you, and eventually when you start marketing to them and you start talking to them more, they become your buyer. Okay. Now, I wouldn't spend more than 2 hours creating something to give away for free because it's your time and it's free. So don't spend more than 2 hours on it. All right. Okay. Also, reaching out to your network to see who will promote for you to their email list. Okay. We're talking about a fast path to cash, right? So this is one of the ways. You can even create a cohort if you wanted to of people. It's like you have this group of people that you guys help each other out. This is business. Nobody can go at this alone and expect to have really great results right away, right? We all need to be in a space where we're helping each other in some kind of way. So if you create that space, or if you're in a space where there is a cohort or a group of people or a network of people, and you guys are promoting for each other, it's another, it's something that I've watched over the years and I've watched certain coaches do, right? Certain coaches do. 7-figure earners, 8-figure earners, a lot of them are really up there because they understand how business works. All right. And collaboration is really the key to faster results. It just is. So you reach out to your network. If you don't have a space like that, you build the space and see who will promote for you and who you can promote for. Okay. Now, you also want to make sure if you're doing that they have an affiliate link, because even if you're giving something away for free, like let's say you're having a webinar and you want someone to promote this particular webinar to their email list, if somebody purchases your offer, whatever you're offering from that webinar, you want that person, okay, that promoted for you to get a commission or get some kind of incentive for helping you out. So have an affiliate program set up so that can happen. It can get a small commission as a thank you. Okay. And it's only right. It's only fair. And they won't mind promoting for you again. That's how that works. Okay. So yeah, we want to keep our network strong. We want to keep our relationships strong. So, these are the things that make a lot of sense for us to do. Okay. Another thing is you want to have a main opt-in or lead magnet on your website. For when people get there, they get to that page, they land right there on that page, and they see what's front and center. All right. And if you could do it before the fold, which means do it before they scroll, that's a good thing too. Okay. This is, I used to build websites. I still build websites, but I used to build websites a lot. And I used to always tell people, just have it where people can see it once they land on your website. Okay. All right. So, and make sure it's very compelling. It's a very compelling offer for someone when they first come to the site, which is what we talked about, having something that people need right now, that they can really get an immediate result with. All right. Also, having a content upgrade for everything that you post. And it doesn't necessarily have to be every single thing that you put out there. No. But if you're putting out content that's related to your offer or, something like that, then you want to have a content upgrade. Okay. And a content upgrade is simply another lead magnet, but it's something that they can get more information about what you just spoke about. So if you just wrote an article, right, they can get more in-depth information if they give you their email address and their email address and their name, right? So that's a content upgrade. All right. It just goes a little bit more in depth. So you gave them the what it is, or, but the how, maybe they need to give you their email address to get the how to do whatever it is. Okay. So something like that, but it just has to match up. It has to be conducive. It has to flow, continue, just continuous flow of content that you want to have. All right. So simple PDF, simple stuff here. We're not doing too much, but we're doing things, like I said, to kind of speed things up. Just having it ready. When you have things ready, you don't have to get ready. You don't have to like hurry up and do certain things if you're already ready and already prepared. Okay. So another thing is hosting challenges, right? So challenges are really good. A lot of people do challenges. A lot of coaches do challenges. Very good move because people love challenges. And they love it, especially if it's on a topic they're extremely interested in. So I would suggest keeping a challenge short, 3 days, 5 days, no more than 7. Because if you're launching or if you have an offer, then you can open your cart right away. And basically, with the challenge, people really understand what comes with the challenge. They know that you're going to offer something from the challenge or, based on the challenge, right? So, it's not a surprise or anything like that, but you can open your cart and, and start promoting whatever it is that you're offering. Okay. Now, if you want to do longer challenges, I would say do a paid challenge. But if you want to go longer, you have to understand that you may not get people every day to stay with you along the journey of the challenge, because people tend to fall off after the first couple days, or so. So yeah, it just could be a time thing. It could just be, just who knows, something comes up. But the longer the challenge is, the more people will probably fall off, especially if they didn't pay. So if it's a free challenge, keep it 3 to 5 days. 3 to 5 days. It's not, it's not a bad space if you do 3 to 5. Okay. All right. So now we're going to get into basically talking about how to create your hell yes opt-in offer and just the steps to really do that. Okay. Because we want to get to that next 20K by the end of the year, or that 30K or whatever it is. So we need that opt-in offer and we need things to flow, and once you do your opt-in offer and you're getting people in, however you're getting them into your funnel, we're going to talk about this at the end, but just have the email sequence set up and ready to go as well. Okay. So the first step is really polling your ideal clients or surveying your ideal clients. What do they really want right now? Okay. What are they sick to death of hearing about? This is the first step. and you cannot skip this step. All right. So do a poll. Most of the platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, they all have the option of doing a poll. So don't take that for granted. Just do the poll. Make sure whatever it is that you're offering or whatever your idea is based on, that's what the poll is based on. Okay. Don't just throw something out there, because we have to be intentional. And I stress this a lot, just being strategic and intentional about everything that we're doing, so we're not wasting time. Okay. So yes, poll people, poll your list, poll your following. Just see what people want before you create anything, or before you go any further with anything. Okay. All right. So then you poll them, you know what to create now. Then you decide on a topic, how you plan to create it. Is it going to be a lead magnet? Is it going to be a live event, like a webinar or a challenge? What are you going to do? How and what are you going to do? And if you are having a live event and you say, okay, well, I'm going to do this as, a webinar, 30-minute webinar or something like that, then when do you plan on hosting it? Okay. Have a date. Hold yourself accountable. Okay, an accountability partner, but hold yourself accountable and pick a date. Okay. Pick a date and stick to the date and time. So then you're going to decide what the purpose of this opt-in offer will be. Okay. Is it to build trust? Is it, position yourself as an expert? Will you be promoting your discovery calls? Are you selling a program? Know your why before moving any further. So really understand what the purpose is or what the goal is before you move any further with it. Okay. Because as you set up your email sequencing, you're going to need this information anyway. You're going to need to know the why, because that's what's going to lead people to where you want them to go. So where do we want them to go? What do we want them to do? All right. So decide what the purpose is. Okay. And then you're going to create the content that you'll be offering people that sign up to get this lead magnet. Write it all out, write out the outline, just write it out, create any PDFs that you need, videos, other files, and get everything set up. One thing I did with one of my funnels, because all funnels are not created equal, but when I was doing, when I had a discovery call funnel set up, I would do a video series. So every day for like 3 days, they got a video and they got a worksheet that they could download for, just work that they needed to do, coaching that they needed to do, a file, just something extra to download, right? So they had something else to do. This is the next step. They listened to the video. This is the next step. That was on the PDF. They downloaded it, and then they would go to the next day and the next day. And then, discovery call. Okay. So that's why I said know what you want first. So then you can go and create, kind of doing it backwards. So you know what you want first to happen, or where you want them to go, or where you want them to end up. And then you create. Okay. You create. So you want to have your landing page set up. All right. You need a landing page. You can have it on your website. You can do it, lead pages, click funnels. You can use whatever you want to use for your landing page, but you have to have one. Okay. And another suggestion that I would have is to get their phone number. Why? Because you may want to text. You may use the text option or text feature, right, for your people, to let them know when you have things coming up, or to invite them to things, or just to communicate with them further. That's a good thing to have. If you have it, if you don't, fine. But if you get their phone number, one thing that I have done when I was creating lead magnets a lot, I would call, right? I would call and follow up. It goes above and beyond. And if we're talking about a fast path to cash, or a faster way to get things accomplished and get results, then we have to do things that we may be uncomfortable doing, or we may not want to do. So getting their phone number and actually calling them and saying, hey, how did you like the download or whatever it was? Get your feedback from them. Ask them if you can support them in any other way. What else can you do for them? This starts the conversation. Okay. So it doesn't hurt to get a phone number. All right. And I teach my clients to do all these different things as far as going above and beyond and doing things differently to get a faster result, because it just makes sense. A lot of times we don't think of these things, right? But I mean, maybe I just have a unique way of kind of doing things, but but a lot of times we don't think of these things, but it just makes sense, and you'll thank yourself later for doing that. You will thank yourself later for doing it. So, okay. All right. So that's your landing page. Now, you want to make sure that you are enticing people to sign up. Your landing page. So you don't need too much. That's what I want to say about your landing page. I was trying to think of what I wanted to say about a landing page. You don't really need too much. A few bullet points, 3 to 4, letting them know what they're going to get, and a box for them to sign up. Okay. Just tell them what they're going to learn. Can keep it brief and to the point, right? Just simple. We keep things simple over here. I don't do complicated anything. Okay. Sequence. Okay. You need to do this for every opt-in offer. Remember that. Every offer needs an email sequence. So if you're creating lead magnets, let's say, right, different lead magnets, maybe a video series, maybe a webinar, maybe some type of PDF, you need an email sequence for each of them. Okay. And I would suggest doing multiples, because you need to test anyway. You need to be testing all the time to see what's working, what's not working, what you need to throw out, what you need to keep, that type of thing. So create your email sequences, and just make sure that you are continuously, and I stress this, continuously communicating with your list. Because even after they get on the list, don't wait too long to even ask them what they want from you. What would be helpful, what would be beneficial to them. That's something that you can give them, whether it's your content, whether it's in an offer, whatever. But just having them do like a 2-minute survey just to see, because you want to keep them there. But honestly, if they fall off and they're not going to buy from you, then they can go. That's fine. Totally fine. And you give them that option, right? You give them that option. If you don't want to be here, you can leave. It's no hard feelings. It's not personal. It's just business. And there's a lot of times they're not rejecting you. It's just something that they don't need right now from you, right? They just don't need it right now. Okay. And everybody has a preference. So we're not getting in our feelings about people unsubscribing, but we do want the relationships that we can really sustain. We do want relationships that we can build and continue to build. And we want the people that want to be there to have what they need. Okay. That's just the easy way to put it. Okay. So we set up our email sequences. And I'm going to get into the emails, the different emails, just to give you an example. And I'll do that in a minute. Okay. Because if your goal is to turn your leads into paying clients, which That's why they're there. They're not just on your email list to sit there. We don't want them just sitting there, really just overloading themselves on information. We want them to take an action. Okay. But there are some things that we have to do. We have to blow their minds. We really do. And I mean that like sincerely. Like, don't hold back, because sometimes people feel like they're giving too much. And no, don't hold back, because if you're giving away things or information or something that is worth some money, but you're giving it away, just imagine how eager they'll be to buy from you. Okay. So don't feel like you're ever doing too much or just giving too much away. All right. Just give them exactly what they need to get the result that they want. Okay. So here's your email sequence. Okay. Okay. And even if you aren't trying to land a client right now, like maybe you're creating a new offer, or you have, you're not really ready to open your program or fill your program right now, you still want to have the email sequence set up. Okay. And I recommend at least 4 to 5. You can have 7. Great. Creates more contact points with you. Okay. So the first email, of course, is going to be the download or freebie or whatever, or wherever you sent them. That's what they're going to get. Details to your live event, whatever it is. The second email is asking how they liked the first thing, right? A lot of people aren't doing this. They're not asking. Well, they're not getting feedback. They're just not doing it. So we want to know how they liked what they just got. Okay. And let's give them something else. Let's give them another training or another video or something else to support that. Okay. And then your third email, you can ask how they like both of what they just got, getting more feedback. And then your fourth email is your pitch, your discovery call. Okay. So you're basically warming them up. You got them in. This is for a cold audience, right? They were cold when they came in, but now they're warmed up. And yes, it can be warmed up by the fourth email. They can be warmed up by the fifth, sixth, or seventh email. Okay. Just depending on how you communicate and how you're talking to them and what you're doing. If you created a webinar, you invited them to the webinar, you warmed them up a lot because they got a lot of you during that 30 minutes or 45 minutes or whatever it is. So yeah, they are warmed up. And don't be afraid to just do an info webinar. You don't have to do an offer at the end, but if you want to, you absolutely can. It's up to you. It's your business. You have control over your business. You are controlling the narrative of your business, whatever that looks like. Okay. So understand that there's no right and wrong way to really do things, but you don't want to pitch too soon, especially to a cold audience. You do want to warm them up first. So that's why I said the 4 emails. That's it. You can create 4. You can create 5. You can create 4. You choose, right? You choose. But at the end of the day, you have the control. Okay. Understand. You control the narrative. All right. So that's it. List build, for list building, this is mostly about the lead magnets as far as a live training, some type of webinar. And also I want to say about the webinar thing, don't just go off trying to pre-record a webinar to automate it before doing it live. Do it live first, see if it converts, and then you can automate the process. Okay. Because the worst thing you can do is sit up here and record a webinar, try to automate it, and nothing is happening. You don't even know if it converts yet. We all care about our clients. We care about what people get from us. We want them to get whatever it is that they need. And so we have to do things like doing it live first to get that feedback. I would do a Zoom. I would absolutely do a Zoom, and to have them where they can unmute and give me feedback. And I used to do, and I have done this. I used to do it when I did my one of my trainings that I had some months back. I had people come in. I did my, I did my webinar and my training, and I would get feedback from them. Right. So this is how I knew what to take out, what to put in. And I kind of, I would tweak it. I would just tweak it and tweak it and tweak it until it converted. Okay. And so that's what you have to do. Let's not, just kind of skip around the parts that we don't want to really do, or the parts that we feel are harder, or the parts that we don't want to take the time to do. Like, just take the time to do it. It benefits you in the long run. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So basically understand that at the end of the day, what you need is a way to generate leads, a landing page, and a high quality offer that people want, that serves the immediate need right now, like right now, results right now. Okay. So that's really it. Those three things. You have those three things, you're good to go. But I hope these tips helped you as far as like building the list and really getting people into your world right now so that you can really finish the year out on a great note. All right. Any questions? Let me know. I'm just a DM away. And also, if you want to set up a no cost strategy session or breakthrough session, then also let me know, and we can customize your plan for the end of the year so that you can finish the year strong and reach that next income month that you desire. Okay. All right, guys. Till next time, take care.